Hello, everyone. Welcome to your new favourite podcast, Junkies. We're going to continue with that until you believe
Until it becomes true.
Until you believe
Can you manifest things for other people?
Yes.
Well, we've done it.
I'm Alyssa Natu, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Jonny Nelson.
Hello.
Today, let's get straight into it, Jonny, because we have lots to talk about. We are talking nepo babies.
Lovely. It always sounds a bit dirty when you say nepo babies, doesn't it?
That's what they are. With a new Disney Plus show, The Shards. We've also chatting about Hit Point. You spoke to the stars of that, which is you and Dave's first ever scripted drama, I believe.
It's the first time me and Dave got together and thought, let's knock out a scripted drama, and this is what we have to show for ourselves.
We're also talking about our favourite comfort watches and touching on the Thomas Crown affair.
We've got so much going on, Mel. We've got too much going on.
Which is why we're getting straight into it before you start rambling about something else.
Yes, indeed.
But I do actually very quickly want to bring it back to last week's episode because we spoke at length about Spider-Man then. And you mentioned about a clip.
I had an ancient clip, an ancient interview with Tom Holland.
We said if we could dig it out and find it, we would play it for you. And you have found it, haven't you?
Yes. Well, we say the royal we meaning Ruby, our esteemed producer, found it and dug it up, and it's very sweet.
Your entire life's about to change. I'm guessing this is a bit of a warm up to get you used to this sort of madness. How are you finding it?
I love this kind of stuff. It's actually really good fun, and I mean, to be here tonight and to see Ed. I mean, I've just seen him, and I'm kind of obsessed with him. So the idea to be here tonight is so great, and I'm so grateful that they invited me. And
mate, I want to ask you about the film. Anything you can tell us about what's coming up? But what is going on in your face at the moment? It looks like there's some violence on set.
No violence. It was my own mistake. I basically fell over and bashed my face in front of about 200 crew members. So not my most heroic moment, but it was luckily just before my last shot. They were like, roll cameras. I was getting into position. Everything went wrong. And they still did the take anyway. It looks great. They'll probably just CGI out all the blood. And yeah, I was very lucky.
Well, there you go. There's Tom Holland 11 years ago. I remember thinking, there's this tiny little youthful guy. And it still seems kind of tiny and youthful in a way, apart from how hench he's gotten.
But now he is smashing it at the box office. Spider-Man has become the biggest grossing film of 2026, I believe.
Yes, it's the biggest opening ever in cinemas. I mean, not adjusted for inflation, but in terms of just pure hard cold cash numbers, it's actually exceeded Avengers Endgame.
$1 billion at the worldwide box office in
mental.
Just 6 days.
That is crazy. And I think that must be way beyond the expectations even of Marvel and the MCU and Spider-Man fans, because at the end of the day, this is just... They made it very clear this is a film about him. This is not a film about the multiverse. It's not a film about a million different superheroes and all their IP and all the weight that those actors that play them bring to it. I'm throwing my arms in the air quite a lot at the moment. And people have eaten it right up. So I don't know what that says about people's appetite for particular type of superhero movies. Are they saying give us good character-driven, simple plots? Don't give us these all the incredible explosions and fanfare of 1,000 different faces. We say that Avengers Doomsday will turn up at the end of the year and do 10 billion in its first weekend or something.
Well, I think it's just the Tom and Zendaya effect, to be honest. Like, who doesn't love them? Like, they're genuinely a couple that have managed to make everyone fall in love with them.
I read somewhere on Twitter today that someone said they should kind of close the book on Zendaya's character now, and that her arc is complete. And I still haven't seen Spider-Man. I'll be interested to see what happens with that little love story and whether I agree with said tweet or not.
I liked the Russo brothers' congratulations that they sent, because they posted up a picture of Spider-Man wearing the Infinity Stone gauntlets.
Yeah.
Brand new day, earned 360 million. Whereas Endgame took 357.1 million in 2019.
By a hair's breadth. Well, by several millions, but, in terms of box office standards.
Anyway,
very
congratulations
to
Tom Holland and the gang, who we knew from many, many years ago.
But didn't get a junket slot with this time round. Not that we're
bitter. Not bitter at all. Anyway, let's move on to Hit Point.
Yeah, Hit Point is a new action police procedural drama coming to You and Dave, which is the rebrand effectively that UK TV and Dave had over the last couple of years.
I was wondering, I was like, where has this channel come from?
Yeah, like I thought when I read, oh, this is going to be the first big kind of commission from You and Dave, I was like, oh, this must be a brand new channel. I think the rebrand happened like a year or two ago, seemingly.
Wow.
But basically, if you watched Dave Jarvu, and all those kind of Dave-related channels and UK TV channels over the last few years, that has kind of continued to evolve and change. And now I think they have You and Dave, and I think they have You as well. It gets very confusing.
Right.
Like the Netflix
But they
show.
always used to show a lot of like repeats of like Mock the Week and things like
Yes.
that. But this Hit Point is their first original
kind of drama,
series,
so
yes.
that they do things like Taskmaster, and I think that kind of stuff came from over there. But this is their first big drama, and I say drama. It's quite light-hearted as a UK cop show. A lot of cop shows in recent years has been like Criminal Record with Peter Capaldi and Cush Jumbo was like very hard, weighty. Kind of depressing at times.
I mean, especially if they're UK based, right?
Yeah, 100%. They're usually like very dark.
Yeah.
Compared
They're
to
not glossy like the American stuff.
Not at all. Somebody, like one of the main characters, will die at the end of the first series, and you'll do 2 series, and that'll be it. Whereas this is a little bit more of a classic police procedural, a bit more like the Sweeney or almost not as glamorous as Miami Vice, but those kind of shows that used to be made where there was a twinkle in the eye and there was kind of very, very light-hearted, chummy, matey conversations in between the hard-hitting stuff of people getting shot and all that kind of palaver. So it's not as heavy a watch as some of those other shows. I enjoyed the first couple of episodes.
You spoke to the stars Nick Blood and Saffron Hocking.
Yes,
for it.
indeed. Nick Blood, known over here for Slow Horses. He was in one of the series of that. He was also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wow.
Going back to Marvel.
That's a throwback.
It is a throwback, yeah. I stopped watching it by the time he was in. But
I think I probably did as well.
I think everyone did after about 1 or 2 series. And Saffron Hocking was brilliant in Top Boy, and she had a very kind of hard-hitting, serious role in that. She played someone who, I think she was pregnant, and her ex was like an abusive gangster. There was a lot of crying and shaking and whatnot. But they're very light-hearted in this. Great chemistry between them. There's that frisson between them of will they, won't they. But they play 2 kind of mate cops, detectives who are on a particular case. There's a little bit of I think I used in the junket the word skullduggery going on behind the scenes, and a bit of a heist element. And they give me an idea of what kind of show it is, whether it's more easily digestible than your usual police procedural.
There's lightness to it. Don't get me wrong, there are some quite shocking moments in it, but it is nice to just have the lightness of something, to be able to sit there and escape within it without coming out traumatized.
Yeah,
you know?
I think you got that kind of like, you know, the sort of high octane, high stakes, adrenaline fueled story,
fun.
But you're spending time with fun people that you want to hang out with, that you go, oh, I could chat to them in the pub.
In the show, there's a few familiar faces to like British audiences. Brendan Coyle, who was Mr. Bates in Downton Abbey, he's in it as a sort of devious upper echelon cop. And Peter Serafinowicz, who we've mentioned on this pod
We do.
before.
Big fans.
Yes, big fans. Very, very funny man. He's done a lot of fantastic comedy over the years. And he appears in this as a very, very scouse... I didn't see enough to know what fully his background was, whether he's more of a gangster or whether he was actually involved in the police as well. But he's involved in some underhand business, but we don't necessarily think he's a really terrible guy.
We always say that he's very underrated, and now he's gone and done a show like this who you're like, how many people are going to watch it? And it's probably something that he's going to be great in again.
Exactly, but is it going to
see it?
Yeah, but one thing he is going to appear in that lots of people will see, as we've mentioned in the past, is the new Harry Potter HBO series, which I was quite surprised that Nick Blood knew about. I'll play this clip.
We're both a bit in love with
We
Peter.
love Peter so much. We're obsessed with him.
He brings such a positive energy to set. He just feels like every day is a gift. That's his kind. That feels like his attitude to the world.
Yeah,
so,
and he's a gift.
Yeah, he really is.
He's a gift
He's a
to
gift
us
to the
all.
Harry Potter universe next as well. He's playing Peeves.
Is
the
he?
ghost in Harry
Which was
Potter.
did Rick Mail
Rick
do
Mail
that and
has
it got cut out?
And then it got cut out. Yeah, excellent knowledge there.
Yeah.
So looking forward to
I've never
that.
seen Harry Potter, but I know that.
Good Lord.
You've
We'll,
never
we'll
seen
end
Harry
on
Potter?
that disgraceful note. Can you believe somebody has never
Hasn't
seen Harry Potter?
Harry Potter. I mean, people are always shocked when I say I haven't read the Harry Potter book.
That is egregious, Mel.
I know. I'm a terrible human. Am I?
I mean, I think if you started the Harry Potter books, same with like Lord of the Rings and a lot of those great adaptations, if you started the books before the films, the idea of watching all the films having not read the books is awful. Like, I
I'm
was
just
always
a film
desperately
fan.
trying to
I'm
read
a film
them.
fan.
I mean, I'm a film fan, but I'm literate, Mel.
Yes, I don't know how to read, everyone.
Well, if you didn't read the books by the time those films came out, you were so well catered for.
Finally, Peter, I can never even
Sarah
say...
Fenwick.
Thank you.
I have a feeling I say it slightly wrong, but it's
You
the way
say
I've
it
always
different
said
every
it.
time. I'm glad he will get his recognition, at least, hopefully, in the new Harry Potter series.
And it's nice that he knew about Rick Mail as well. He knew that Rick Mail played the original character, and yet he still didn't watch Harry Potter. How do you know Harry Potter trivia and you don't go and watch the films?
It just gets in there by osmosis.
Yeah, well, be that on his own conscience.
Well, do you recommend it? Hit Point, not Harry Potter.
I recommend both. Hit Point was enjoyable, and if you want to feel like you're hanging out with some mates, I think it's good. They're both very good, and they're very likeable people and likeable characters.
It's coming to you and Dave on the 13th of August.
Yes.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're talking about the Shards. Not the Shard, the Shards.
This one goes out to all my ladies, all my multitasking mamas who need energy to show up at work and at home, all my empty nest explorers who need a little gut health support for the journey ahead. AG1 is the daily health drink designed to support whole body health with over 75 essential nutrients and pre- and probiotics, so you can make the most of every day and every decade. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
All right, welcome back. Let's talk the Shards, shall we? Ryan Murphy's new saucy, salacious slasher.
Erotic kind of thriller.
I love
like
it. I love
coming
it
of age.
when they're brave enough to use the word erotic. Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about it in my news bulletin recently, and I was like, can I say erotic? It
Of course
feels
you
like
can.
I? It feels if my bulletin's repeated on a Saturday afternoon, does a child want to hear the word erotic?
Well, I feel like I grew up hearing the word erotic.
Yeah. So erotic. It's an erotic coming of age thriller.
Exactly. It's based on the novel by American author Bret Easton Ellis, and it's kind of a fictionalized memoir of his time at high school.
Nice.
I say fictionalized because I don't imagine there was as much death and
cocaine.
Serial killer. Well, I don't know. As there was in this, but it's based in the 80s, which both you and I were born during.
Correct.
You are? I was just trying to remember whether you...
For a split second, it shows how old we're getting now. For a split second, as you said that, I was like, shall I just pretend not to be? Is it good to have this out there? Yeah, I'm very proud to have been born in the 80s.
I am too. And I spoke to the cast for this one, and I was saying to Kai Gerber, who is Cindy Crawford's daughter, she's one of the leads in this, and I was saying, I love that it's based in the 80s because I was born in the 80s. And you know what? I'm never going to get tired of the satisfaction of people's shocked look on their faces when I say
you couldn't possibly be born in the 80s. I've seen this interview and I thought that shock was just like, wow, people were born then? When was Kaya Gerber born? Was she born post 2000 or something?
Probably.
That's insane, isn't it? Yeah, she's not the only nepo baby.
So no,
we
did mention this is a kind of nepo baby series. I'm probably sure that they hate that because they are trying to forge their own careers. And you know what? They're actually very good in this series. But yes, there's Kai Gerber, who is Cindy Crawford's daughter. There is also Homer Gear, who is Richard Gere's son.
It sounds like a made-up name, doesn't it?
How is anyone called Homer when The Simpsons exists?
I know.
Right?
I mean, you need somebody with the balls-out confidence of a mega star to go, hey, I'm Richard Gere, and I'm going to name my child Homer, and no one's going to bat an eye because I'm Richard Gere.
And that is exactly what's happened. But there is also another nepo baby in this one who is Daniel Dale, and I somehow find a way to bring Neighbours into everything. But Alan Dale,
Was in Neighbours?
Yes, who played Jim Robinson.
And was he also in The OC?
He was in Ugly Betty. I can't remember. I didn't watch The OC.
Was he bald?
Yes.
He was in The OC. He turned up in The OC. He was I'm sure he was someone's dad or something.
He was in Ugly Betty anyway, but Neighbours is his
obviously,
his big
his
thing.
bread and butter.
But he's Daniel Dale's quite young, so I'm guessing.
These superstars, they
Alan
never
Dale
stop being virile, do they? I mean, look at Mick Jagger. He's going to be cracking them out when he's on death's door. But yeah, so it's kind of nepo heavy, but you suggest the performances in there are worthy of people who are not born to riches.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Ryan Murphy series, and his shows always do phenomenally well. You look at Love Story. What is there?
It got critically destroyed, but did really well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
American.
He's not going to care.
Monster? Is it? There's American Horror Story, and then they did the Monster series. It's just called. Oh, it's just
called
Monster.
It's just called Monster.
Yeah, and the last one again did really well, but I think got critically derided.
The Beauty. The Beauty was also one of those ones which I don't think people... It was a bit of a weird one where you took like this serum, kind of
Ashton
like a
Kutcher.
Yes.
And it was similar to... what was the big film that came out?
Death Becomes Her.
Oh, I love that movie. I was actually thinking the other one, more recently, the body horror that had...
Oh, The Substance.
The Substance, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, he does, like, he knows how to pick a story, I guess, and make it appealing to the masses.
He's done the 80s very well, though, didn't he? Did he? Wasn't he behind Monster Series 2 when he did those two brothers, those kind of Hollywood brothers who murdered their parents?
The
Menendez brothers, yeah, and that really sparked that debate up again. And that was kind of sexy 80s teen coming of age sort of thing.
He's got the formula. But listen, you can't go and speak to a cast like this and not mention their parents, even though they're probably sick of it and we're probably not meant to talk to them about their parents. But I couldn't help like mentioning, because Richard Gere was such an icon of the 80s, that I was like, I wonder whether his character, like Homer Gere's character, knew about his dad's existence.
He's in the script a few times.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Is he?
He's in the show, yeah.
Yeah, there was a line.
Or he's not in the show as his name is said in the show.
He plays the character.
Yeah.
So I've not obviously got there yet then, because...
Okay, yeah.
I'm not
we do, because, Brett, I believe, referenced him as well.
Brett and I think West does too. West's character.
Yeah.
Wait, is that weird for you?
It's the reality. I mean, he was like a huge actor in the 80s, so it makes sense that he would be in the scripts.
He takes it in his stride, doesn't he, as an answer?
But it is
He's used
weird.
to talking about it.
It would be weird, right?
I mean, again, it's difficult to put yourself in their shoes. If I did a show and then my character was aware of my dad in the 80s, I would find that really weird. Like, Chris Nelson, who works at BAE Systems up in Preston, that's remarkable. But I suppose when you're born into something, when your dad is so famous and so talked about, and those movies are played endlessly prior to streaming, they'd be on TV like random afternoons and weekends and things. So his face and his brand was is so popular that Homer Gere's probably just used. I'm full naming him.
You can't just say Homer.
Can't just say Homer because we won't think about the right one. We'll be thinking about his Odyssey. He's so used to talking about it that I guess it's just par of the course. Every time I look at Homer Gere, all I'm thinking is, it's a good job you're handsome, isn't it? Because if he was imagine if he was proper fugly, and your name is Homer. And you're screwed. You're hobbled before you even begin.
You're never going to be ugly if your dad is Richard Gere.
You never know, but you do get famous people with ugly kids, and you go,
but
I wonder what work they had done.
They have money to be able to make themselves look great.
I know, but it takes some time. He's still quite young. It took the Kardashians a good decade of reality TV before they sorted themselves out.
They were never ugly.
I'm sorry, Kim Kardashian was always a looker.
Exactly.
A looker. All the rest of them, you are kidding yourself.
Oh
go dig out the first series of the Kardashians if you think they were never ugly. We've all seen the pictures that go up online constantly going, you're not ugly, you're just poor. Which is the one that keeps coming out saying, all I've done is had a little bit of Botox right here, and I didn't even do that again. And you're looking at a before picture and you're like, were you put into a coma for 5 years and then completely unaware to you had plastic surgery 800 times and now you're trying to fool the world? It's like Donald Trump sort of politics when you just go, go, I'm just going to keep saying a lie until people believe it. It is nonsense.
Wow, we really found something that pushes your buttons, and it is the Kardashians.
I'm just jealous of the amount of great plastic surgery they've had. We all would if we could.
I wouldn't mind the money. I wouldn't do the plastic surgery, but I wouldn't mind the money.
I'd be walking around looking like Kaya Gerber if I had that much money.
Kaya Gerber, of all the people you'd pick.
I know. I just said that to be irreverent. But I'd be quite the beauty.
I would pick Kaya Gerber.
Yeah.
And also, can I just say, having now spoken to her, it's one thing to be that beautiful, but she has like an incredible personality to go with it, and it's so unfair. She is so funny and so I don't know, just God, you just want to be her best friend.
Yeah. It is. It's lovely and also a bit frustrating when you meet people who literally have it all. They're really beautiful, really successful, and they're really nice and interesting and quirky and whatnot. And you're like, wow, you managed to avoid all those pitfalls and just turn out to be a grade A human being.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned the fact that her mum and Homer Gear's dad were married, so they were almost.
Yes.
I mean, they weren't almost brother and sister,
No,
but in another universe, they
In
could
a
have been step
multiverse.
siblings, and yet they're kind of, aren't they, sort of getting it on a little bit in the show?
I haven't got that far into it.
I thought they look in the trailer. They look like they have a bit of a.
They are
frisson.
not the couple who are together,
Right. Okay.
at the beginning, who Kaya is with. But I'm sure things get a lot more, like, as you said, salacious as it goes on. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, at least it's legal, guys. It is legal. Like as we said, they're not related. They're not
not
blood
related.
or anything. It's a little bit weird. Like if you really dig deep. I saw them in interviews talking about each other in like really glowing terms, and I think she's going out with Lewis Pullman at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But if that doesn't work out and they ended up together, what a wonderfully awkward wedding that would be.
That would be so weird.
Yeah.
That would be so weird and wonderful, though.
And
like I'm here
wonderful.
for it. I'm here for it. And listen, it's done wonders for the promotion of this show. Right, let's take another break.
This one goes out to all my ladies, all my multitasking mamas who need energy to show up at work and at home, all my empty nest explorers who need a little gut health support for the journey ahead. AG1 is the daily health drink designed to support whole body health with over 75 essential nutrients and pre- and probiotics, so you can make the most of every day and every decade. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
Did you see the new trailer for the Thomas Crown Affair?
Did I ever? I did indeed. Yeah, it looked interesting. It looked entertaining. It looks like some money's been spent on it.
I mean, I watched it several times for Mr. Michael B. Jordan.
The dirty bits. Yeah, he's in fantastic
It's
shape.
a very clean trailer, to be fair.
Relatively clean, but I cut this trailer to put out on a bulletin for TV, and I had to cut some bits out. They didn't ask me to, but I knew there'd be an issue with compliance where there was a little bit too much skin on show,
Right.
especially skin around the thigh. It always feels weird to show skin around the thigh on afternoon TV. Maybe I've just been sanitised so much
think
over
you
the years
probably
from
have.
doing this. It looks interesting. It
Yes.
looks good. Did you watch any of the previous iterations of the Thomas
I
Crown
have
Affair?
not.
Right.
So this will be my first encounter with Mr.
Mr.
Crown.
Thomas Crown.
With Mr. Crown. But that said, I might go back and have a watch of the Pierce Brosnan version.
Yeah, the Pierce Brosnan was
because I
good.
love a little bit of Pierce.
Yeah, I bet you did. That sounded dirty as well. I don't know what.
What is wrong with you? Why can't
don't
I
know.
say anything at the moment?
A little bit of Pierce.
You,
Maybe it's just got a name that sounds.
managed to turn everything I say into something dirty. You
That's
did this
true.
last week when I
Yeah.
was playing with my Barbies and He-Man.
Let's not dig up that again because you'll set me off. Let's get back onto the Thomas Crown Affair. The original was Steve McQueen back in 1968. Good movie, very 60s.
So you've seen them all?
Yeah, I've seen
Wow.
them all. The original was 1968. He's like a rich guy who just decides he's going to like go on like a robbing spree. Maybe a little bit less playboy than Pierce Brosnan's character in the remake, where it's more specifically around art and the idea of like, he's just doing it for the chase. And then this remake is, again, perhaps more similar on that side. But by the look of the trailer, it seems like he's trying to get one over certain people,
Okay.
I think. So I don't know if it's a sort of a Robin Hood style or whether he's got an axe to grind with certain higher-ups and he's going to go out and just take everything they have. There's that really short clip of Sir Kenneth Branagh looking very angry, and I just thought that's bad guy energy there.
So this one is directed as well as starring Michael B. Jordan. It's directed
Correct.
by him too. His first film since Creed 3.
Creed 3, which was actually very good.
It was
I
a
thought.
very good film. I interviewed him. He was paired with Jonathan Majors, who now we're not allowed to talk about.
I mean, we could talk about him, just maybe not in as glowing terms.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a film about an international playboy type who is very good at taking things that he shouldn't. There is a kind of a detective type who is put on his case, and then they sort of fall in love, may or may not fall in love, have a romance anyway. She's trying to kind of bring him down.
It stars Ariana Hona.
She was very good in that movie with Glenn Powell, in the midst of Glenn Powell's summer. You know when he plays the Hitman, yeah.
Wait,
you know when he plays the Hitman? What was that called? Very good in that. She goes out with Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
When I watch trailers like this and I see someone acting alongside Michael B. Jordan, especially with his top off in like great shape, you're like, wow, if you were that person's partner, you would feel pretty bad about that. Unless you're Jason Momoa.
If you're Jason Momoa,
you just take one day, you turn up on set, and everyone knows who the alpha is.
What do you think of this casting then of Michael B. Jordan as Thomas Crown?
I mean, he cast himself effectively, didn't he?
We don't know. There's casting directors.
I think he's got the leading man qualities to...
You have some opinions on him, though.
Yes. Right, okay. All right, if we're going to have it out now, let's just get it out in the open. I like Michael B. Jordan.
Fine.
I think he's a brilliant leading man. I think he's very charming. He's great looking. There's a presence to him on camera and a power to him on camera and a great vulnerability we've seen in a number of films over the years. I'm sure he's going to be great in this. He's really good in Creed. I love Fruitvale Station. I'm really like trying to big him up at the moment. Because he's very good in Black Panther. The fact that he won the Oscar for his performance in Sinners, I think, deserves to go down as one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened in the Oscars leading actor race.
You?
I'm sorry, it was only out of the perfect storm of a large section of film watching communities who were trying to raise Sinners, a great movie by the way, and I love Ryan Coogler. Raise Sinners up to be this incredible plinth of American filmmaking, which it's not. It's a great film with wonderful themes. I don't think it's just a rip-off of Dusk Till Dawn. I think it takes the ideas from Dusk Till Dawn and I think it elevates them, and I thought there's some really interesting choices in there, and it's very entertaining. But to say just because he's playing two not entirely dissimilar characters in that means that there was people saying at the time, oh, he's doing twice the job, give him the Oscar. What he did in that film absolutely pales in comparison to both what Timothée Chalamet did and Leonardo DiCaprio did that year. And then also there was the anti-Chalamet sentiment that came up with because of his silly comments, because he did so many interviews to big up this movie.
You're bound to. By the time you're trying to think of different things to say, you're bound to put your foot in it at some point.
Yes.
Which, by the way, he was literally just spotted seeing Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, his mum was the ballet dancer.
Exactly.
But
people say things.
People take what they want out of it, and they'll build it up and up and up and up. And that perfect storm where those two things came together, it was just this bizarre head loss that I think will sit with me for a while.
This is your opinion. You think he shouldn't have got an Oscar for it.
It's my opinion, and it's the correct opinion. I think if you're going to give an Oscar for anyone who plays two characters in one film, give an Oscar to bloody Lindsay Lohan for The Parent Trap. Give an Oscar.
Should have got an Oscar for that.
Justice for Lindsay Lohan. That's what I'm saying. Justice for Tom Hardy. I just think it was a bit ridiculous.
I do think that Timothy should have got the Oscar because Marty Supreme was phenomenal. Like, he was brilliant in there.
He was great in that.
But I don't think that Michael B. Jordan wasn't deserving.
But he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
I love that you're basically saying that to me.
And I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best, and I really look forward to his
Ladies
next
and
film.
gentlemen, if you want to go and find Jonny and fight him on this, his
address is number 5 now. I'll be right here, guys. Here, if you disagree with me, tell me in the comments, and then I'll complain about your point in the next pod. But
and you won't be able to say anything back to him, so he'll just keep winning. Let's move on to something much nicer and almost fluffier, because it is our favourite comfort watch films. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I saw a trailer this week for the Major League Baseball team going to the Field of Dreams. And I don't know whether you knew this or not, Jonny, but Field of Dreams is my favourite movie. Not just my favourite comfort watch. It is my favourite movie of all time.
Movie of all time.
Yeah. And so I saw this and I was like, like, this just gives me an excuse to talk about it, right, by seeing this. But I am actually really intrigued to see this Netflix. I think they're going to live stream it. And it is actually 2 baseball teams playing on the Field of Dreams itself in Iowa.
It's an interesting space that Netflix are getting into now, like live sports, because they started doing, I think they've done boxing recently.
But how cool
they've
is
been
this?
doing wrestling.
This is like taking a, well, for us, childhood film and putting it, like, bringing it to life.
It's a great gimmick.
Yeah, with sport, like a massive sport in the US. And actually a sport that maybe I probably wouldn't watch, but I will watch this because it's combining it with one of my favourite films.
Baseball is an interesting sport. I've got no interest in the game of baseball. I like to, playing it would be fun, I'm sure.
It's like rounders over here.
It's like rounders. It's just basically rounders, isn't it, guys? But American sports do lend themselves to incredible, and it may be just because there's been so many films made in America because of Hollywood that you think of them and you can think of like 4 or 5 different films around every American sport. And
Coach Carter was great.
Coach Carter was great.
Yeah.
And Major League, and there's just a million of these. And I think, oh God, now suddenly I'm thinking of Remember the Titans. That's another great movie. But anyway. A lot of these sports we don't know or care about as much over here, but we remember the films that are attached to them, and I think that's a big strength of selling American sports. Probably a good reason why they're able to spread out into areas like Netflix. Although I think Netflix are doing some Premier League stuff next year with Gary Lineker doing his podcast in kind of video form. But it does lend itself to storytelling and the people behind the games. And this particular film kind of epitomizes that as well as any others that have been made.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. There's something, obviously, I mean, it's the nostalgic thing. It was made in 1989. I probably didn't watch it in 1989. I was like 4 years old.
It was peak Sunday afternoon kind of movie, played at like 5 p.m. on like Channel 5.
It's Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
It's James Earl Jones, Ray Liotta. Like, what a cast to begin with. And then, there was just something about it. There was like this fantasy side to it as well. Something about it just stayed with me, and I desperately want to go and visit.
What, do you actually want to go to the field?
I really want to go and visit the field.
I think it's a bit like when you go to New York and you go to Central Park and they have the fountain, and you're like, oh, that's the one from Friends, but the actual one from Friends will be on a lot in Burbank or something. And I think it's similar to that. You'll be over there going, wow, it's the Field of Dreams, and then you'll read somewhere, well, actually, the real Field of Dreams in the movie was actually shot 3 miles down there, and then they rebuilt it over here because they had planning permission. But you do get lost in the kind of the romance of it, and it's a beautiful film. If anyone hasn't seen it out there, it's about a guy played by Kevin Costner. I can't remember exactly the plot now, but
I mean, it's my favourite film, so I can probably tell you what it's about.
I mostly just remember the ending.
Well, yeah, obviously the ending is the main one, but his farm, he basically goes against everyone else and mows it all down and builds a baseball field. And then he has to go and find James Earl Jones's character as well to bring him there. And he plays a doctor. Is he a doctor? Yeah, some kind of doctor. And basically Kevin Costner's daughter chokes, and no one else could see all these ghosts until she chokes, and then suddenly they can all see. Honestly, it's a weird
sounds
but
creepier
wonderful
when you actually
it's a
explain
weird
it back.
But wonderful film.
And then the end crescendos where like a game on this baseball field
with ghosts.
With ghosts.
But listen, it is an Oscar-nominated film. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Original Score, and Best Adapted Screenplay. So other people knew of its brilliance as well. So far have never managed to interview him. I did interview Ray Liotta, though, before he passed away, I did get to tell him how much I loved Field of Dreams, so that made me very happy. What is your actual favourite comfort watch?
I don't know, to be honest. Like, the obvious ones I come back to are a lot of Rob Reiner movies, and I think I mentioned on the podcast before what it meant to me to be able to interview him, albeit via like Zoom last year. Like Stand By Me, which was a big movie for me. A lot of kind of young coming of age with kids sort of films. The Goonies and Lost Boys and stuff like that were big comfort films for me. Anything that reminds you of when you were safe, when you had no responsibilities, when life was about imagining what would be possible. Those are comfort watches.
I want to go back to those days. Well, you know where to find me. On August the 13th, I will be watching a live stream of MLB at the Field of Dreams.
And
reliving my youth.
I will not be. I will, if anything, I'll see that and go, ooh, Field of Dreams. And I'll go and watch Field of Dreams, but I've got no interest in watching actual baseball. Rounders, however, if they stick that on Netflix, if you want to put Rounders on, I will build it. I will be there. Build it, and I will come and watch Rounders.
Let's leave this here. Thank you very much for your thoughts today, Jonny. There were many of them.
I didn't mean any of it.
Congratulations to Tom Holland and the gang on all the Spider-Man success, and to the Nepo babies for getting their own shows as well in the Shards. We also covered my favourite film. Don't know what Jonny says. All we know is that he doesn't like Michael B. Jordan.
I love Michael B. Jordan.
And we're leaving that here. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. We will speak to you next week.
Bye-bye, guys.